Hello Leo, welcome to my channel. My name is Emily Gear. I am a transformative energy healer and also a multi-dimensional channel. I'm here with your weekly messages again. You'll notice a completely different setup. I have not been feeling well at all today, but I did want to get your messages out. So I am not fit for viewing. I just could not pull it together to, I don't know, look human. So we're going to try this for today. I very much appreciate the fact that you guys have said over and over again that you prefer to see my face in videos, and I will do that again. So this is just temporary. Just a reminder that this is a general message, and so that if you are not resonating with it, definitely check out your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus signs to get a more complete picture. And finally, I will upload a romantic relationship reading, an extended reading on Vimeo. And the link to that will be in the description box below if you're interested in honing in on romantic relationships, okay? So, finally, I always forget to say that if you would like to schedule a private session with me, you can do that via my website. Also linked in the description box below, but it is IamEmilyGear.com, okay? All right, so let's see what energies want to come out this week for Leo, please. Leo, please. All right, we are starting here with the High Priestess. I want to get a little bit more information on that before I get to talking too much anyway. I am feeling like you're coming down off a little bit of a manic, almost a manic binge. So, oh, well, here's your manic binge. Let's see what else. And I can pull it all together then. What else for Leo? All right. And then we have the Three of Wands also showing up here. I am feeling that sense of calming down, of going within, you know, after this sort of manic binge, this kind of like, some of you had maybe been cleaning house. You might have been throwing out a lot of stuff. You might have been cleaning house metaphorically with individuals in your life who were creating a lot of chaos, a lot of competition. I think actually the Five of Wands has come out for you for literally the last 3 weeks in a row. So it could be that this is finally closing a cycle of unrest or instability in some way. I am feeling like for a lot of you, this is related to the home environment. So it could be about restarting or getting a new start or clearing out like the closets, literally and metaphorically at home. Okay. I do feel like you have set something new in motion. With the Three of Wands showing up here, that is literally showing that you have set something new in motion, but also the woman in that card gives me the impression of being pregnant. So it's almost like something new waiting to be born into your life, out of the rubble, out of the chaos, out of the confusion, out of the cleaning out. It's almost like dust and rubble. I'm getting like a vision of a battlefield after a war where everything is on fire and smoking. You know, well, Leo, I apologize for that. As soon as I shifted my position, the camera fell. So this is the kind of day I'm having. Speaking of smoke and fires and whatever, chaos. So the long and the short of it is, I do feel like you're getting a new beginning. I do feel like you're kind of getting down to sort of a root point within yourself where you're kind of starting to understand not only who you are, but what you're made of. I do think there's a real shift in perception of yourself and maybe even your life path, that like it's opening up in a wider way, things that you maybe were not even aware were gifts of yours, potentialities that you were not even aware of. So things are coming to light that had been kept in darkness before. And I'm using specifically the language here of the High Priestess, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels very much like exposing that which is within you, that has been deep beneath the surface. And this feels like something that's very authentic to you. Okay. What else wants to come out for Leo, please? Yeah, here we are talking about something that's very authentic to you, what the truth is deep beneath the surface. And here is the Ace of Swords coming out. So I feel like there is a truth that is revealed about yourself more than anything. Some of the other signs are getting the same. They're also getting the Ace of Swords, but they're discovering truths about other people. I feel like your primary truth has to do with your nature, your strength, your possibilities, your gifts, okay? And seeing some of those gifts open up and seeing your life change before your eyes after having been through this struggle. What else for Leo, please? You know, everybody, I'm gonna be petty for a second. Everybody got so shitty about talking about toxic masculinity, and I shouldn't say everybody, like almost no one. A few people got shitty about toxic masculinity and having to release that, and going through this process of releasing competition and all that stuff. And look, you've done it, and you've like uncovered new truths about yourself. So just because it's a difficult period, just because you don't want to hear what's coming out or what you're sort of releasing, doesn't mean that you won't be victorious, that you won't expose another layer of who you are and your abilities and amazingness in the process, you know? Okay, so off my soapbox, sorry, had to put that in there. That's super petty, but I told you I'm not feeling well today. So I'm not my usual balanced self, if you could even call it balance. Anyway, okay, so what else wants to come out for Leo this week? What other energies are coming in for Leo? Messages for Leo for this week, please. All right, we have the Ten of Wands with the Empress here. The Empress is coming out for a lot of people as well. I do feel like, again, with this idea of cleaning out the closets, of clearing out the home, clearing out the people that aren't, are creating chaos in your life. This was an unintentional spread, but it is falling underneath the Five of Wands. And so I feel like the burden you're putting down is the unnecessary dramatics, the unnecessary drama, the people creating that, the situations creating that. I keep going back to clutter in the home. So somebody is really doing a lot of work in their home, which makes a lot of sense here in Cancer season. And Leo following Cancer, you may have a lot of different planets that are personal planets that span throughout Leo and Cancer as well. So there might be some meshing of the energies within some of you. And I do feel this new focus on the nurturing of the self outside of whatever situations you've recently been through. I almost feel like there's a new crowning of the self as sovereign in your life. Okay, so that the key word of sovereignty has been huge this week for all the signs as well, and it's coming out for you also with the Empress here. The Empress obviously also being the divine feminine. I do feel like there's this highlighting of actually this whole spread begins and ends with the divine feminine. So there's this highlighting of that receptive nature of the home, of the hearth, of the feminine side of each one of us. And I do feel like that's almost like the triumph of the divine feminine within us, the actual breaking through, the rising to the surface of the divine feminine when we have probably and necessarily been working through that toxic masculinity, right? That competition, that dog eat dog kind of mentality, that overworking, that pushing, which is what that entire middle column is showing. So this energy is coming in for you this week. Definitely embrace it. It brings you into a greater sense of balance, and also it is setting you up. You are pulling in and birthing a new thing in your life, as evidenced by not only the Three of Wands, but the Empress showing up beneath it. So we feel like this could be an important month for you for beginning new things, or beginning a new phase in your life. You are getting ready to step into your solar return, so you will be starting your new year soon. And so it makes a lot of sense that certain cycles are closing up for you. Just checking our time. So I would feel as positive as possible about that. I actually get a lot of positive stuff out of these cards, so I don't feel like any of the endings that are taking place are negative. I actually think these are things that are worn out, have caused you a lot of stress and anxiety, are creating a lot of drama, and you're happy to let them go. I'm going to pull a couple more cards here before we move on to the extended reading. What else can we get for Leo to close this reading, please? What else can we get for Leo to close this reading? What's coming in for Leo? What can Leo expect? Oh, perfect. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out with that. All right, so a whole slew of cards popped. Let's put this back. The reason I kept drawing was because the card that came out was the Five of Swords, and I wanted to make sure I could give you a little bit more info here. You do have, these are all swords cards. So this is a lot of kinetic mental activity. We've got the Five of Swords with the Queen of Swords, with the Seven of Swords, with the Page of Swords, with the Knight of Swords. So there is so much mental activity going on here, and I almost feel like this is the advice to set this kind of mental activity aside, because there's such a stark contrast between this nurturing feminine energy that is showing up in the main reading and all of this. I almost get it as mental confusion. So it's like, allow this mental confusion to be put to bed. Allow yourself to kind of redirect that ego energy and release it to Source Creator, is kind of what I'm feeling happening in my body right now as I describe it, so that you can begin to nurture yourself in a positive way. And that nurturing almost comes from the mental spheres, is kind of how I'm feeling it. It's almost like I want to see you guys doing affirmations, something that is partially mental and also works with your energy. Okay, so thought forms plus energy to help change emotions and help bring forth this new creative and really rich and abundant life that's coming forward for you. So all of this mental energy needs to be set aside. Things are balancing out. Things are coming full circle, and balance is kind of the key word right now, for the way things have been versus the way things are kind of falling into place for you right now. So don't let that bother you if it starts to come up. I'm feeling like this sort of circular patterning in the thoughts, something that's more like thoughts racing. Okay, and that's what you want to step out of. You want to step out of that and into the nurturing, the really warm, nurturing, mothering energy of the Empress. And know, first of all, that you obviously have what it takes to get through everything you need to get through. You've already done it. The residual patterning here is the mental thought forms. And so we need to change the mental thought patterns. I said thought forms, I meant thought patterns. And to allow your energy to really settle in. And the way to do that is through this nurturing energy. Okay. I just want to get a final oracle card for you. Oracle card for Leo, please, to tie up this reading. Of course, it fell on the ground. Okay. 2 came out. First one is deep replenishment. Retreat, rest, be held. That's perfect. That is exactly what I'm saying. Retreating, resting from this, whatever this chaotic energy was that left this imprint on your mental state. And be held. That's that Empress energy coming in here. Okay, that nurturing, loving, mothering energy. And finally, warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? So if you needed more swords in this reading, here it is. She reminds me of the Queen of Swords, obviously. And so in some ways, I feel like that's who you are right now. There's a little bit of a sense of having been through battle, which I've said even from the beginning of the reading, seeing that smoke and burning of the battlefield. But you're in the process of answering that deepest calling. The first card out here was the High Priestess. And below that, the Ace of Swords, another card that really mirrors this oracle card. So just be aware that everything you're going through now is part of bringing you to your deepest authentic nature, bringing out your true gifts, and putting you in contact with the people, places, situations, organizations, or whatever that are truly in your best and highest interest and are going to allow you and help you to accomplish your mission. Okay? Guys, I hope this was helpful. We are going to look into romantic relationships now, so join me on Vimeo to take a look at that, and I will see you there. If you do want a private reading with me, or energy healing, or Akashic Records consultation, any of that stuff, you can definitely contact me via my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. All right, guys, thank you so much. Talk soon.